Hi, this is Stephen Beschloss with America, America,
And I'm Mark the Jacob with the Stop the Presses newsletter.
and this is On Target. This week, we're going to talk about a Washington Post story that might be a little bit more when we used to do media misses because it's such a profound media failure that Mark and I just decided, as much as we've already expressed our grievances with the failures of the Washington Post, this one just demands our attention because it underscores honestly why we're in this mess when so many, or at least too many, journalists have failed to push back against this danger of Donald Trump and what we now increasingly see as his fascist regime. So the story is actually from the Washington Post by a writer named Paul Schwartzman. It's titled Donald Trump Fulfills a Dream Role, Big City Mayor. I want to read just the opening so you get a flavor of the mentality of this piece. Donald J. Trump's many incarnations have included real estate magnate, casino owner, television host, and president. Now he's trying on a new role, one he seems to have thirsted for over the years: big city mayor. Now, the piece goes on to give us all kinds of things about his persona driven showmanship and his brash, freewheeling style and his attraction to dealing with the aesthetics of a city, all of which is to utterly ignore, egregiously ignore the fact that all of these efforts to become a big city mayor require somebody who's deploying the military and is interested in dictatorial powers to control the country, including states where the federal government doesn't have that kind of control. So the simple point is, this story dramatically misses what the responsibility is of every journalist at this time.
Yeah, I mean, it, the truth is, this isn't really about crime at all. And
Right.
just like him sending the troops to Los Angeles wasn't about immigration either. This is about him testing out total power, testing out whether he can occupy American cities with his military, and to put it in such trivial terms like, well, he really cares about the potholes and stuff like that, it's just so. It's not only normalizing, but it's minimizing, Stephen,
Yeah.
and it's beneath any journalism that we need in this kind of crisis moment.
It's malpractice. The story reads like a parody. It's the kind of serious media failure that causes me to sort of pause. I mean, I made a list because I was trying to figure out what exactly was this guy thinking. Was he ignorant of what's actually happening in America? Is he supporting and he wants this sort of fascist regime to have a free hand, so he's normalizing? Is he just caught up in his doing of a kind of cute human interest story, or maybe the worst, that he's just doing the business, doing the bidding of his capitulating boss, the billionaire owner Jeff Bezos, who's made a decision to bow down to Donald Trump.
Yeah, I mean, really understanding what's going on with the Washington Post is important because, yes, it's a newspaper that brought down Nixon and did a great service to the public by doing that, and with a great history. But it's just gone. It's gone bad, and the reason it's gone bad is that you have Jeff Bezos, who has Amazon, this mega corporation. He's also got Blue Origin, which is doing space exploration and has billions of dollars in federal contracts. So, what does Jeff Bezos care about? He cares about those big corporations that depend on the good graces of Donald Trump. Therefore, he's willing to sacrifice the journalistic credibility of the Washington Post in order to please Trump. And you see that in a number of ways. You see that in him giving $1 million to the inauguration and sitting in the row of oligarchs at the inauguration. That uh, deal that Amazon did with Melania Trump for a fake documentary in which she's going to get tens of millions of dollars. I
$40 million.
mean, it's stuff like that makes it clear what he's doing. He's paying off Trump for his
Yeah.
good graces,
Yeah,
and
and
the
he's not
Washington
he's
Post.
not alone. I mean,
No, he's not
he's
alone,
got plenty
unfortunately.
of billionaire buddies who are doing exactly the same thing, each in their own special way, paying tribute to the mafia boss.
Right, and the Washington Post is really just collateral damage in all this, but it does mean that they just don't have credibility, and he's twisted it in a certain way where the Washington Post now, has like two pillars. Their op-ed section has two pillars: free markets and personal liberties, and it's really those. I don't know what those mean to the Washington Post because they don't seem to be hitting Trump hard on his clear violations of people's personal liberties and
Right.
his clear violation of the idea of free markets by by strong arming corporations and cutting deals with them. And and the new guy, who's the last guy who was opinion editor, quit because of these twin
David Shipley.
pillars. Yeah, and now they've got a new one, Adam O'Neill, and he's announced to the staff that the Washington Post op-ed section will communicate with optimism about this country. Well, what
Yeah,
does
and
that mean other than we're going to let candy coat what is in effect an assault on American democracy? I mean, let's get serious now. It's not time to say, "Oh, everything's going great." Everything's not going great. We're in an incredible crisis, and it's really the obligation of one of the most important newspapers in the country to take it seriously.
yeah, and I think it contrasts today or yesterday with the decision, the necessary decision of Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker. I've written about it. I'm sure you have too. To make the point that one, let's understand what this five-alarm fire looks like. Let's confront it clearly and aggressively. And oh, by the way, my friends in the media, please don't think there's both sidesism
Right.
as an appropriate response. Please have the courage to say things as they are. And a story like this, and I want to just still, dig into this decision of the Washington Post to publish this pablum. And it tells me that they really have abandoned their responsibility to the country and their responsibility to democracy. And we can talk more about the reasons for it, but it just tells me that we have to. It's important that we're doing independent media. It's important that there are voices that speak out. It's important that that dissent is as loud and clear as it can be, that these are acts of patriotism at a time when, once fabled institutions are forsaking their duty to the country.
Yeah, I was impressed by Pritzker, not just going after Trump and telling Trump to stay out of Chicago, but really challenging the news media to show courage,
Yeah.
and because the news media needs to be called out. I mean, they're part of the problem right now. The major media are. I mean, there, as you say, there are independent voices who are doing great and really trying to defend democracy, but by and large, mainstream media is failing us right now, and that's got to stop. I mean, they've got to be called out on that.
And one of the responsibilities for everyone who's listening to this, for every reader, for everyone who's trying to absorb the daily onslaught of information, is to read as critically as you can. I mean, it's possible to read a story like this and get caught up in sort of the old style of doing a cute human interest story until you realize what exactly he's doing, which is, as you put it, is sort of sugarcoating or soft pedaling fascism.
Right, right. So let's get serious, media. I mean, it's not too late, but almost. So let's get serious.
Yes, please.
Yeah. See you
Thank you,
next
Mark.
time.
Thank you. Bye bye.